This week in Jamaica Now, popular pastor the Rev Al Miller found guilty of attempting to pervert the course of justice. He's to be sentenced on September 15. More tragedy on the roads. A cop among 4 killed in Portmore days after 6 people died when their car plunged into the Rio Cobre. Old rivals at it again. Why Karl Blythe is challenging PNP President Portia Simpson Miller. And Trinidad and Tobago Prime Minister confident he has repaired the relationship between his country and Jamaica. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
Wherever in the world we are, Jamaica is with us. In our hearts, in the way we talk, in the way we walk. In the Gleaner. Access Jamaican news anytime, anywhere on your smartphone, tablet or computer. Stay on top of what I want by reading today. Stay informed with your #1 Jamaican news source, The Gleaner. Become a digital subscriber today at www.jamaica-gleaner.com. Anytime, anywhere.
I'm Damian Mitchell and this is Jamaica Now. Popular pastor the Rev Al Miller is to be sentenced on September 15 after he was found guilty of attempting to pervert the course of justice. He could be fined, sentenced to jail for up to 3 years, or given a suspended sentence. On Friday, Rev Miller was found guilty 6 years after then-fugitive Christopher Dudus Coke was found in his company along the Mandela Highway in St. Catherine. Parish Judge Simone Wolf-Rees says the evidence indicated that Miller's behavior satisfied the desires of Coke. There was more tragedy on the roads this week with 47-year-old police sergeant Dylan Davis among 4 people killed in a terrible crash along the Dyke Road in Portmore, St. Catherine. The cop was heading home in his Honda CR-V from the CPL 2020 match in Kingston on Thursday morning when a Toyota Yaris overtaking another vehicle crashed head-on into his SUV. The driver of the Yaris, 18-year-old Theo McKenzie, died on the spot, as well as Tamika Davis and another man known only as Martin. The surviving passenger in the Yaris has been hospitalized in critical condition. The crash has pushed to 219 the number of road fatalities since the start of the year. It also came less than a week after 6 people died when a Suzuki Vitara with 8 on board plunged into the Rio Cobre in St. Catherine. One of the 2 survivors, Alfredo Slew, has since been charged with 6 counts of manslaughter and driving without a license after investigators learned that he had overtaken a truck and was attempting to beat the red light when he crashed. And the story of Stephen Ricketts, the pastor killed in the Rio Cobre crash, has dominated social media this week. On Thursday, the Gleaner reported that in Ricketts' community of Grove Road in Linstead, St. Catherine, tales abound about the many animal sacrifices in front of his church, his members drinking animal blood and burying live white chickens to sanctify the church ground, and of Ricketts as a self-proclaimed science man. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he is deeply concerned about the number of road fatalities.
Safety on our roads is our responsibility. Jamaicans, drivers, passengers, motorcyclists, and pedestrians, slow down.
Former Westmoreland Central MP Dr. Karl Blythe says he will be challenging PNP President Portia Simpson Miller for the post because the party now needs someone to lead the stabilization and rebuilding process.
Just say the comrade leader comes out and say, this is my last annual conference. It might not make sense, but
I am ready for anyone and anything.
You said similar stuff in the lead up to the general elections.
Well, this is different from the general election.
In the meantime, 5 people will be running for the 4 posts of Vice President. They are incumbents Dr. Fenton Ferguson, Noel Arscott, and Angela Brown Burke, and newcomers Dr. Wickham McNeil and Lisa Hanna. Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his Trinidadian counterpart, Dr. Keith Rowley, say they have reached agreements that will reset and restore the friendship between Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago. Dr. Rowley concluded a 5-day visit to Jamaica this week, where Jamaica and Trinidad held bilateral talks on several contentious issues, such as immigration, trade, and energy. And the University of the West Indies, Mona, has apologized to Prime Minister Holness for its blunder in failing to induct him in the UWI Honor Park more than 4 years after he first became head of government. The university uses the Honor Park to celebrate past students who were or are heads of government but overlooked Holness now in his 2nd term. Earlier this week, Dr. Rowley was inducted. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune in to Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and before we go, amid a proposal for it to be made mandatory for fathers' names to be on birth certificates, we hit the streets of Kingston for reactions.
Every father name should be on them birth paper.
They should, because you have good father out there capable of working and taking care of their kids.
Of course, father's name supposed to be on birth certificate. No must.
No, sir. No.
But they see the one them when not good, and I run left them pitney for them one for the panics.
She going to deal with that by herself, so she not a father, because the man done buy something already.
I believe that every child, child should have their father's name on the birth certificate. The reason for that is that that's the way that you hold a man accountably, you know, the father or child, you know.
Yes, I believe that the father's name should always be on the birth certificate because the child needs to know mommy as well as the dad.
Father, they're supposed to be on birth paper, good father. Yeah, they're supposed to be on birth paper, everybody alone make the pitney. For them, for the party for show.